Hello again, I'm Tripp Rogers. This is Tripp's Take. As you can tell, I am back in my home studio. It is good to be back home. You know, Dorothy had it right in The Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home, and sleeping in your own bed certainly has its advantages. And, you know, being in your own house, it's really good. But coming home after this vacation, I had to deal with the reality of modern life, first world problems. About 4 years ago, we bought a TV for our family room, and that is where we usually sit and watch TV. And we have nice, comfortable chairs. Sandy has hers. I have mine. The dog sits in our laps and enjoys it. But unfortunately, the TV went bad. And as with many electronic products, there are ways to sometimes fix them, but this was terminal. I mean, I looked on the internet. I spent about 45 minutes on Monday trying to diagnose this and to get this to work. And I came to the conclusion it was not going to work. So I have gone online. I've ordered a new TV, and the old TV is now in recycling in Chatham County. That's really one of the big changes that I've seen in my lifetime, and really nowadays. You know, TVs are disposable. If they go bad, you just buy another one. You know, it used to be you had these nice stands for televisions. You could sit them on something. Well, now they come with these plastic legs, and if most people hang them on the wall, because that was the reality with these TVs. You know, and again, picture quality. You can't complain. And even on the low end TVs, I'm not one of these people who will spend a lot of money on a television. I mean, I suppose I would if I really wanted to get a really nice television, have a really nice theater room. But I'm not one of those guys. I think the most I've spent on a television was the television that I bought way back when from Nobody Beats the Wiz. And the thing was 35-inch tube TV. And I mean, it took 3 people to carry this sucker. And we moved it. And I know. So, now flat screens, you can handle on your own. The only problem is the boxes are kind of bulky. It's kind of tough to carry them by yourself. But, the other part of the new TVs is they are thinner and flatter, but they can break very easily. And I suppose you're wondering if I indeed am going to have the TV installed. Well, we have a entertainment center that we're going to put the TV in, so there's really no need for installation, but I'm going to tell you, and I don't say this because I'm trying to tout my former employer, but if you buy one of these big flat screens, and I'm talking about 55, 65 inches, even you get 75, have someone install it. Don't do it yourself unless you are handy. But the problem is I've seen this happen time and time again. People grab the TV the wrong way, crack the screen, and you're out. You can probably return it, but it just makes more sense to have somebody install it. I mean, that is Tripp's recommendation. And again, I used to work for the company with blue shirts. I would not attempt to install a TV myself over 55 inches. And again, this is going to go in an entertainment center, so I'm not really worried about it. But the other problem is the fact that they're going to deliver it. And of course, I can't be here. Sandy can't be here. Matthew's not here. So I got to call my trusted buddy, Apple Joe, to come and take the delivery tomorrow. That is, of course, if Best Buy shows up, but I won't go into that. In fact, something funny here. I will tell this. I stopped working for Best Buy over 2.5 years ago. And I've always gone into the store I used to work at, and everybody knows me. But as time has gone on, I've seen more and more new faces, and I don't know these people. So I went for a pickup to grab. I wanted to get some short HDMI cables because I don't want to put a 6-foot HDMI cable in back of the TV. That's a waste. So I got some short HDMI cables, and I actually had an employee ask me for my ID. Now it's funny because one of my former coworkers was up there, and I said, "Hey, asking for my ID," and he kind of laughed and he said, "You can trust him. He used to work here, you know." It was one of those funny things. I've never been asked for my ID when I go in there. But again, times change and people leave. Although a couple of my former coworkers are making a big push for me to come back there and work this holiday season. I don't know if I really want to do that. I mean, it's bad enough I've got so much work and so many things keeping me busy that sometimes I forget things. Like, I don't know, uploading this podcast last week to YouTube. Yeah. I uploaded the podcast to Spotify for podcasts, but I forgot to upload it to YouTube. And I recorded it last week in my sister's kitchen. So, I'm busy. But the other part of it is the one big perk of the job is the employee discount. And I got to tell you that is a nice perk. It's an enticing perk, but it's not like I get hundreds of dollars off on computers and that kind of thing. But the employee perks are good. I just, something that Sandy and I talked about, and I'll mention it real quick here. People's attitudes in dealing with people have changed. And they're so nasty. And this is one of the things about dealing with the public. I work in radio, so I don't, people call the station. Yeah, I deal with them, but I don't have to deal with the public. But when you work in any retail job, you're dealing with the public. And the public sometimes just is very nasty. I don't know if I really want to do that. And that's one of the dilemmas I have, although it wouldn't be fun to go back because, I've kept up to date with a lot of stuff and I kind of know what's going on, but I just don't know if I really want to do it. By the way, speaking of what's going on, if you are an Apple product user, Christmas came early. Our September updates for our software. Yeah. And I got to say, I watched the new product demo, or I should say the presentation, which was a couple weeks ago. Now, I'm not really hepped up on getting a new iPhone. I got one last year, and mine is fine. And I don't see the need to upgrade because I don't take that many pictures. I don't use my phone, the camera. I don't have this. I got the slow-mo and stuff. I'm just thinking I should take some videos of my slot cars and then put some slow motion on them and stuff, that kind of thing. But the iPhone, they look good. But the thing I'm really excited for is the watch, because they've increased the size of the watch and they've added some features. And one of them is sleep apnea detection. And I like that. I really like that. The Series 10 is out, and that's the new one. It's also very thin. The only thing is that I really love, this is the first series Ultra, and I bought that a couple of years ago. I bought it last year, actually, because I wanted the bigger screen, and I like this big screen. They still don't have it up to where it was with the Ultra. And they did not release an Ultra 2, so I don't know if I would do that. The other thing I'm very excited about in the new software that they're talking about is the ability to use AirPod Pros as hearing aids. And I got to tell you, I love my AirPod Pros. I really think they are great. So much so that when I was working at Best Buy, I would always buy like the new Beats. I would buy them, but I would always buy the AirPod Pros. The AirPods just don't fit my ear properly. I used to get those hooks to put them on and stuff, and I hated that. The AirPod Pros do fit in there. Although, truth be told, I'm really partial to over the ear headphones. And that's just because, well, I'm used to using them because I've been using them as a DJ for 45 plus years. But I'm really excited about this software. And if you're someone who has some trouble hearing, this might be the ticket for you. Apple will release an update for that will allow you to use your AirPod Pros 2s as a hearing aid. And for some people, that was something that would really help their quality of life. That is Tripp's Take for September the 19th, 2024. I'd love to hear your comments and questions about my podcast. Please feel free to email me, trippstake@gmail.com. Fantasy football players, the Hall of Famer Mike Sheck and yours truly are back. The Fantasy Sultans are on YouTube for podcasters, or on Spotify for podcasters, and YouTube. Just search Fantasy Sultans. Also, Sunday with the Sultans is live. If you're in New Jersey, you can listen to it on Fox Sports New Jersey or Fox Sports Jersey Shore. You can also listen to it online at foxsportsnewjersey.com. You can check us out. We're on Sundays at noon, get you warmed up right for the football games. Like the music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s? Oh, baby, I got you covered. WTRSradio.com is your place to go. And, of course, one of the things we did this week was Music Yearbook Special, remembering Tito Jackson. Join me again next week for another edition of Tripp's Take. For now, I'm Tripp Rogers. Make it a great one.